Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So friends, in this video we will have our discussion on some of the most difficult placement of the Atmakaraka planet, the soul significator planet. So this topic has been long in my to-do list because whatever topics I choose, it is either governed by that environment created by the transiting moon on that day, or somehow relying on the most frequently asked question. So just because many people have been asking question on this, that Nippon, like even in the personal consultations, some of the times, especially those people who are going through the Saturn Dasha, Ketu Dasha, or Saturn active in the Dasha but placed in the eighth house, I keep on coming across these kind of question in the consultation format, that apart from all the explanation of my chart and my specific question, can you actually put some light on my Atmakarak, which is placed in the 12th house, which is placed in the 6th house? So what does this indicate? In this short crisp discussion, we will try to figure it out. So, okay, friends, before we will start our discussion, we will first pray to Lord Ganesha, who is the Hindu god of auspiciousness, good omens, and who presides over all the knowledge of mystic sciences known to humankind. So, Om Vakratur Mahakaya Suryakoti Samprabha Nirvignam Kurumadeva Sarvakareshu Sarvada. So, friends, as the topic says over here, that this discussion is going to be about Atmakaraka's placement in the Trik houses. So, the name in itself, Atmakaraka, can be translated in English as Atma as the soul and Karaka as the significator. So, that means your soul evolution, because this is one concept where most of the spiritual like scriptures or many of the religious doctrines would agree that our this human life and this birth is the uninterrupted journey of the soul towards perfection, towards the God realization or the self realization. So, in that path, the Atmakarak's placement in your birth chart will tell about that in this incarnation, in this birth, what kind of experiences your soul has to deal with in its short stay in this human form towards its journey towards purification, towards the God realization. So we all know this thing, that when it comes down to the Dushtana Bhava, like sixth house, eighth house, 12th house, these are not very easy houses to deal with. So if your Atmakarak planet is placed over here, or your ascendant lord is placed over here, your moon is placed over here, or you are in a dasha of a planet which is of a long period of time, like for example we know Venus 20 years, Saturn 19 years, and if that planet is struck in 6th house, 8th house, 12th house, then your life is not going to be easy. So that means your life experiences are going to be slightly different compared to someone who is being governed at that specific moment by the fifth house, by the ninth house, by the fourth house, by the 10th house, or by the 11th house. So, in which way it is going to be different? That is what is going to be the objective of our today's discussion. So, as the subtext friends say, that Atmakaraka in Trik houses, unveiling the soul's toughest lessons, past life karmic seeds, and the alchemy of spiritual liberation in the sixth, eighth, and 12th house. Now, friends, see, one thing you have to understand, that universe knows how to balance things out. So that goes without any saying, that goes without any saying, that the person who might have or who might be struck right now in the domain of the 6th, 8th, 12th, his personal experiences or life might not be very smooth, very easy. But when we talk about the accomplishments connected with these houses, they are much stronger and much deeper compared to any other house. Like, for example, a very empowered sixth house can actually give you such a formidable kind of stance, such a strong competitive like aura around you, that everyone around you is going to be scared of you. You might be going through in your personal life, you might be going through some sort of challenges and all, but in your orbit, everyone is going to be scared of you, or no one will take you lightly. When we talk about eighth house, now the beauty of the eighth house is that it can give you a glory, a recognition that even after when you will be gone, your name will stay, your contribution will stay. It's like the house of immortality. Your name will never go away. The legacy created by you will never go away. And the good part is that amidst all the life challenges, you will be able to understand or experience the secret functioning of the universe, the the secret of the life and death, and the cycle of the life and death. You will be able to experience that. And when we talk about 12th house, friends, so see, 12th house again is like a vacuum, I always say about that. But again, when we talk about like being a seer, uh, like a prophet, getting those vision. So for 8th house, you still have to put efforts. When we talk about the 12th house, so the door opens from the other side. So you might be the nature's chosen child. That could be possible because of the 12th house. It's like you could be a medium, you could be a conduit, that when you raise your hands and pray for someone, the other person's blessing and other person's wish also come true. That is the only reason many healers, faith healers, are seen from the 12th house. So this is what the good and bad which comes with these houses. Okay, friends. Now let's go to the next slide. So the part one is about the sacred foundations of the soul. So understanding the interplay between the Gemini Charakarakas, Patanjali, Kleshas, and the blueprint of the incarnation. You will get to know in the next slide. So I mean to say, when we talk about like the five kleshas and the karmic storehouse, right? Which could be, because again, because we're talking about sixth house, eighth house, 12th house. So that means we have to take into consideration what could be the obstacle in the path of the soul. Here, I'm not talking about a human life, like the way, for example, getting sick or having a bad upset stomach or getting down with any flu, any infection. That is on your bodily level. Here I'm talking about on your soul level. The minute we take into consideration Atmakaraka, we are just talking about the divine presence within you, the soul within you. So the five kleshas and the karmic storehouse, as per the Yoga Sutras and all. So very first is ignorance, avidya, asmita, ego, attachment, which is the root cause of sorrow, grief, uh, aversion, and clinging to the life. So combined all of them, they generate karma share means karam share, the deep reservoir of past life latent impressions, samskaras. Now, what role does the atmakaraka plays over here? So Atma Karaka, or the soul significator planet, can be seen as the primary Granthi. I mean, the planet holding the highest degree acts as the king of the chart. It signifies the primary knot, Granthi, of attachment the Jivatma must unravel in this life to achieve ultimate spiritual evolution. And again, friends, I have seen like many times people talk about when it comes down to Atmakaraka, many astrologers they start talking about someone's personality. Many astrologers start talking about the profession, career choices. What I personally feel is that Atmakaraka primarily give information connected to your spiritual evolution, connected to your spiritual growth. So anything on a humanly plane, which is about our like our career, our personality, for that you can give attention to your ascendant lord, your moon, any general astrological chart analysis. But once you take into consideration Atmakaraka, you have to elevate your analysis to the level of the soul impressions and the requirement of the soul. And again, friends, I don't want to get into any debate over here. When it comes down to Atmakaraka, I only take into consideration like the like all the planets excluding Rahu and Ketu. Many astrologers also take Rahu, they also include Rahu in this category, in this list, but I don't understand the logic of that. Rahu is Vidharmi. Rahu is like a demon. Rahu is like a Chandal. How can a Chandal give you soul perfection? Rahu can actually be a very good agent in unveiling or hiding the truth, but Rahu cannot grant you that. So just want to make it clear. That's what I have learned from my teachers, that they don't take into consideration Rahu as the Atmakarak. They don't even take Rahu and Ketu's drishti as well, because they don't have a physical existence. So okay, now friends, I'm moving ahead. Now the very first point I want to discuss over here is that when we talk about Atmakaraka as a compass of destiny, so, first of all, you have to understand the difference between the bondage versus liberation. So, according to Maharishi Jaimini and the Bharat Parashar Hora Shastra, the Atma Karaka is simultaneously the point of primary bondage and the portal for spiritual liberation, moksha. When placed in difficult houses, the soul has chosen an intensive evolutionary accelerated program, refining ego through fire rather than comfort. So again, that's the reason majority of the astrologers have agreed to this point, that an activated 8th house, 12th house might take you away from the drama of the world, might fill your life with certain level of inconveniences, sudden upheavals, unpredictable events. But when we talk about accelerated growth in your spiritual evolution, they play a very vital role over there. So now when we talk about the Trik Bhava, what could be the problem which could come from over here, right? So we know this thing that sixth house um, represents our Ripu, our Shatru, our enemies. Now, when we talk about from the soul perspective, here we are talking about overcoming the six internal enemies, Shad Ripu. Like you need to imbibe or acquire the lessons of humility, service, and resolving the past conflict. And that is the only reason many people who run many charities, or they own many NGOs, people who participate in many philanthropic humanitarian work, people who are very service oriented, service minded, you will definitely see somehow some sort of connection of activated sixth house, ascendant lord's connection with the sixth house, Saturn's connection with the sixth house, moon's connection with the sixth house. So it's not like that you have to be a doctor in itself. It's just like that I have seen many people, once their sixth house get active in the dasha, somehow they get drifted towards service. When we talk about eighth house, friends, so yeah, the transmutation over here happens in a very fire kind of style. I mean to say, shocking transformation, death of the ego, vulnerability, occult wisdom, the kind of wisdom which we get from the eighth house. It is like, it is the secret of the life and death, the cycle of the life and death. So ninth house can actually give you, see, every house has got some sort of inculcated wisdom attached to it. Second house has got the financial wisdom. 11th house has got a wisdom that how you conduct yourself in the society, right? People who have very refined 11th house, they are like the social butterflies. They know how to act in any social setting. Same is the way when we talk about 8th house. So this is the actual house of the wisdom of the life and death, lifespan, and profound inner rebirth. So the channeling which happens from over here, so it tend to remain like, it's very deeply transformational. When we talk about 12th house, so the liberation versus dissolution, so surrender of the ego, solitude, foreign lands, loss of material identity, and direct moksha merging. Now friends, when I say about the foreign lands again, all these scriptures have been written at a time, at a point where, like in the Sanatan Parampara, in the older times in India, even if you cross the sea or cross the ocean, that used to be considered as a stigma. Like you will be boycotted because you have left your motherland, native land. So that is the only reason 12th house was not seen as a, or in a very good light. I still remember because a couple of years back when I went to India, I went for the Char Dham Yatra. So even in a bus, even in a transport, it took me so many hours, like days, to complete that. And there used to be the case in the Brahmin families that if one of the child would have decided that I will be going for the Char Dham Yatra. So it used to take years, like sometimes because in the ancient older times, there used to be many wild animals in the forest. The terrain, like if you will go towards the Badrinath side, it's like very icy terrain. So I mean to say that was not very easy. So that means if you have activated 12th house, this could be the life will either take you towards the sadhana, penance, towards the God realization. So in a way, all these are the houses which in some form takes you away from the society, from the humanly plane. Now, friends, when we talk about giving attention to the Atmakarak in the eighth house, so this is what primarily the discussion is. I actually wanted to talk primarily on the Atmakaraka's placement in the eighth house only, but then I thought my upload frequency has been very inconsistent. I do not know whether I'll get time in future or not. So let's cover the all the Dushtana Bhava with Atmakaraka's placement in one video only. So when we talk about Atmakaraka in the eighth house, now what does it tell about? First of all, friends, when we talk about Vedic astrology, so don't take it with a sense of bias. A lot of the times I have seen some of the astrologers who are not very spiritual, and they just take astrology just as any other regular money making profession. So I mean to say, they just come straight away to this resolution. Oh, you have activated eighth house, heavily concentrated eighth house. You are a sinner from the past life. You would have done some ill deeds or evil deeds in the past life. It's not like that. Our astrological chart is a blueprint. It's like a map which shows us the path, and a lot is dependent on the evolutionary level of the soul and the free will of the native as well. So I mean to say, what does it tell about if your Atma Karak is in the eighth house? The very first is the crucible of transformation. Placement in the Randhar Bhava forces periodic collapse of outer security structure to reveal eternal inner light. So people will be taken away from your life suddenly. Your career, your security, your finances, all of that can be snatched or taken away suddenly. So that in order to drive you towards finding that eternal inner light within you. Uh, it is also like responsible for giving some information on the past life karmic misuse. So it often indicates past lives where power, control, or hidden secrets were mishandled, requiring extreme vulnerability in this life. Now, again, I use the word very carefully. I'm not saying that you committed some sin. I use the term that it could have been mishandled. So again, friends, for any given situation, there are many interpretation. For example, at a time of the Vaman avatar of the Lord Vishnu, when Bali got that boon from the Lord Vishnu, that was the same time when he even got a curse from his Guru Shankaracharya as well. Shukracharya, I mean to say, Shukracharya as well, that you will very soon, because you disobeyed your Guru, I keep on warning you that the person in front of you is Lord Vishnu in disguise, but you keep on disobeying me. So I give you curse that you will lose all of your kingdom. So again, so there is always a dual side of looking at any situation. And planets are very accurate in mapping everything, good and bad. And most important is the intent and the intention. So I mean to say, it tells more about the mishandling. This could be that a secret was revealed to you. You did not use it for the welfare of the society. You only used it for your own personal gain. So that is what you have to understand. Uh, it also tells about the, like, it demands total surrender of personal will to the divine will as outlined in the Yoga Sutra. So I mean to say, yes, when you have activated eighth house and with the involvement of the malefic bhava, and especially, friends, like, you have to understand this thing. Whenever they're like, um, Rahu and Ketu are involved, eighth houses are involved, and if your whole life is governed by these elements which I just mentioned, then you do not follow the timeline of the society. I mean to say, in the general trend, you will see that people getting married at the age of 24, 25. You might get married in at the age of 42 or 45. People getting settled in their career, like buying and generating assets in their 30s. It might happen to you in the 40s. So I mean to say, whenever these kind of entities get involved, they never deny anything, but they demand some fees from the past which needs to be paid. There is something which is like a outstanding amount which needs to be paid, and afterwards they grant you everything. But for all of that, the surrendering your personal will to the divine will becomes very vital, it becomes very important. So, and Siddhis and the occult awakening, which I have been saying this thing repeatedly. Your Atmakaraka in the eighth house, it can unlock deep Kundalini awakening and intuitive mastery once the ego seizes the resistance. That is the best part of the eighth house, which no other house can match. Now, friends, when we talk about your Atma Karaka being in the sixth house, so debt and service. And again, whatever you're doing over here, you're doing it for your soul evolution. So, conquering the Shad Ripu. So, the sixth house forces the soul to confront internal foes like lust, anger, greed, delusion, pride, and envy. Trials manifest as health struggle or disputes. When we talk about the what does the Yoga Sutra like emphasizes in this placement, so the ultimate remedy for an eighth or the sixth house Atmakaraka is selfless service. By resolving karmic debts without expecting reward, the soul burns heavy past life samskaras instantly. Friends, Atmakaraka in the 12th house, so the path to the moksha, so the dissolution of the mind boundary. See, the thing is, like even in the Karakamsa chart, many astrologers, the 12th house from the Karakamsa, they see it as the East Devata calculation. So, 12th house somehow plays a very significant role. So, if your Atmakaraka is placed in the 12th house, this is a good indication. In any case, your soul is already on a path towards ascension. So compared to the 6th house, 8th house, 12th house, in a way 12th house placement of the Atma Karaka, especially from the soul perfection perspective, is going to be a very supportive sign. So the 12th house is the final house of liberation. When the Atma Karaka resides here, the Jiva is completing a major evolutionary cycle. Life events systematically dissolve attachments to status, wealth, and physical anchorages, turning to gaze inward toward eternal truth. The, the state of bliss, which we call as Sat Chit Anand. So friends, also the D9 Karakamsa Lagna. So the way I mentioned, so the D1 Rashi chart shows you material, physical trials of the 6th, 8th or 12th house. The Karakamsa, like which is very simple, the sign, the Atma Karaka planet, the sign which it occupies in the D9 chart. So which reveals the actual spiritual potential. So the way I mentioned, the 12th house from the Karakamsa reveals the East Devata, the specific divine archetype guiding the soul straight to the moksha. So, friends, after this, in these Trik Bhava, which we have talked about, so which all other planetary alignment we have to be careful about. So, the very first thing is about Sun and the Jupiter as the Atmakarak. So, for example, um, if Sun or Jupiter being the Atmakarak is placed in any of this Trik Bhava, 6th house, 8th house, 12th house, that means there will be lessons in overcoming ego, spiritual pride, dogmatism, and learning true humility under intense cosmic trial. When we talk about Saturn being as the Atmakaraka, or Saturn is Atmakaraka, or any planet is Atmakaraka, and Rahu's conjunct to it. So this could be a case Saturn is the Atmakaraka in the 12th house, Saturn is the Atmakaraka being placed in the 8th house, and Rahu's conjunct with it. So it tells about heavy karmic pressure, like dealing with isolation, enduring sorrow, and learning detachment from worldly outcomes. See, in any case, Saturn is a planet of melancholiness, sadness, grief, isolation, and all. But again, this is also the same thing which the yogis enjoy. In isolation, their divine light illuminates. So, for a normal human being, state of isolation is a matter of like trauma, or is a matter of like dealing with a lot of the depressive thoughts. But for a evolutionary soul or for a yogi, the same level of isolation is the time for illumination, is the time to chant the name of his East Devata. So I mean to say, if Saturn is going to be your Atma Karaka, and if it is placed in the Trik Bhava, it is going to be added, reinforced burden which you have to deal with. And when we talk about Mars and Venus as the Atmakarak and being placed in the Dushtana Bhava, 6th house, 8th house, 12th house, then your desires is something which you have to deal with. So, purification of anger and passion, transmuting earthly desires into intense devotion, bhakti, and ahimsa. So, again, when it's about the planet Venus, even Venus being the Atmakaraka, being placed in the 8th house, 12th house, it can actually uh, the person can overdo in the path of the carnal desires, bodily desires, and a point will come where the person will look for the higher state of like um, divine ecstasy and that sort of like we say that the humanly carnal desires will shape up and they will take up the form of the divine love. But when we talk about the Mars, with Mars being the Atma Karka, being placed in the 8th house, 12th house, there is always a fear of overdoing things to the extent of causing or exhausting your vital energy, your physical body as well. So if Mars being the Atma Karaka being placed in the 8th house or 12th house, you have to be very protective of your body, of your dehe. So yes, friends, and finally the remedies and the practices. So I would say that the East Devata meditation becomes very important. Worship and japa dedicated to the deity indicated by the 12th house from the Karakamsa to dissolve Trik affliction. Along with that, even doing the Bij mantra meditation, Bij mantra chanting, even because in India, especially in the southern part of India, we have the Navgraha temples as well. We have the temples attached associated to all the planets as well. So whichever planet is your Atma Karaka, and and if it is placed in the 8th house, 12th house, so even pilgrimage or visit to that deity's temple will also be very favorable for you. Because see, friends, when we talk about things on the level of the soul, so when we talk about fears, anxiety, or unforeseen, sudden mishap which happens in people's lives and all, so over there you cannot find the answer only from the physical tangible aspect. You have to take your analysis to the extent to the level of the soul, and Atmakarak planet plays a very significant role over there. Satyanarayan Vrat and fasting has been also recommended in the classical Jyotish. Many people also resort to the Vishnu Sahasranam. Vishnu Sahasranam is very, very powerful. Or Shiva Rudra Abhishek. Mahamrityunjaya Path is very, very powerful, very potent. Especially if like you have your Saturn as the Atmakarak being struck in the 8th house, 12th house. So Shiv Rudrabhishek, Mahamrityunjaya Mantra, Rudri Path is very, very effective. Practice of tapas and swadhyay, self-study of the sacred scriptures to shift your perspective from the suffering to the soul initiation becomes very important. And cultivating vairagya, like dispassion, accepting that your Trik Atmakarak placements are divine blessing in disguise designed to expedite liberation. So yes, friends, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. Once again, thanks a lot for watching this video, and for further more updates and notification on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Dhanyavad.